Let me tell you something about what is pure evil. This is Izzy. She is a complete little bitch. Look at those beady eyes. You know, so many are like, oh, my animals got love for me and blah, 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 blah. Well, good for you, okay? I haven't had that luxury of having that loyal companion. Izzy, just a while ago, I was just sitting there looking at my phone, and she totally come up and bit me for no apparent reason at all. Here. I put juice on the table for you. And I completely love her. I do. I do. I give her much love. Try to keep her happy. I do my best. I'm not perfect. You know, I do try to think like a ferret what she would like to eat. You know, what is good for her. And she's mean. She's really mean. And I don't understand that at all. I don't. You know, I've had other, you know, companionships, relationships. You know, and it all seems the same. It's like I always end up with a companion that is a complete asshole. Like, I know she can't communicate, but she doesn't have to bite the shit out of me. And she'll come up and, you know, she'll start licking on my leg. And one might think that's a sign of affection until she bites into my leg like it's some kind of juicy morsel of food, you know? And I just think that if she was bigger, she would eat me. And that she's, you know, when she comes up to taste me, and she lets me know all the time by biting the shit out of me, that, you know, she sees me as food. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And apparently I am tasty because I always have things that come and sting and bite me and shit like that. And I have a calm nature about me, and I'm not aggressive in the world. I'm not, you know, I'm balanced when it comes to eating meat and things like that, you know. It's well dead by the time I do. I consider myself more of as a scavenger. And, yeah. But in this world, you know, I'm just kind of seen as a tasty treat. And, you know, I've gotten this even among the humans, you know, especially the males, thinking that I am just some kind of tasty treat to come taste or use or, and I don't understand that. I'm like, what the hell is the deal? Yeah, what's the deal, man? Because I don't look at others and think, oh my gosh, they look so tasty. No, I don't, you know. So I don't quite understand it. You know, Izzy, that's my ferret's name. She reminds me of that little weasel. I think it's on Looney Tunes. You know, it's always licking its lips and trying to, I think it's Foghorn Leghorn, you know, always trying to eat something, find a tasty treat. I'm like, what? You know? And, you know, all out there, I understand, you know, that you're a certain flavor that everybody seems to want to bite into. You know, there's those that are popular in this world because they look a certain way or their wealth or whatever. No, I'm none of those. Apparently, I have those that come to me because apparently I have a savory smell or, you know, I just look appetizing to them. I gave you some juice, that's all you get. She likes apple juice. And I would like to have a loving pet. Like, or a companion. Like, I even had a Yorkie, and that little bitch, and I loved her. I spent so much money on her, and time and attention, and she traveled with me in the van, and she would literally knock me down to get to other people, and several times she jumped into other people's vehicles to be with them. And if she got loose, she'd run up to other people's doors. And like I said, I wasn't mean to her or anything like that. And I was very giving towards her. And I tried to be, pet her and be affectionate with her. But she wasn't like that. Like, I would sit there and have anxiety attacks, and she would go, and I'd call her to me to have that comfort, and she would literally go and lay somewhere else in the van. Like, I would sit there and be trying to pet her, and she would like just go and move away from me, and I'm like, what the fuck, and I ended up giving her to this girl, that seemed just like her. You know how like a dog and a person, they just look alike and they act alike. So I ended up giving her over to this girl. I didn't, freely. I just wanted Leia to have love. That was my little Yorkie's name. I just wanted her to have love. And, I've had other people in my life do that to me too. Quit, Izzy. Izzy's trying to knock over the camera. But I've had other people, humans, animals, all that. They're just not interested in me. Like Izzy, I keep her, very well. However, honestly, I kind of feel that, I'll probably on the road run into somebody that she'll be all over and, act like she's for them, because that's what Leia did. And I'm just like, what the hell is up with that? That's what I want. I want that, everybody's always talking about twin flame. I was like, I don't want the twin flame. I want my soul connection, that connection, the mind, the body, the heart, the spirit. It's not all about sex, but I do want intimacy. I'm not going to lie about that. But it's a soul connection. People say twin flame, that's your fire. Of course, fires, when they come together, eventually they will burn out. It'll grow cold. And, so I don't want a twin flame, because it'll just burn up. When you got nothing but fire, it'll burn up. When you got fire and water, one will put the other one out. When you got fire and earth, eventually, of course, the fire will, the earth will suppress the fire. It will cover the fire. I would consider myself a little bit of all, the water, the fire, the earth, the air, when it comes to the elements that are, that make me, and I'm very in tune with myself. However, I think I'm more of water, because I like to go with the flow. I am in tune with, the heart. I'm also in tune with other people's hearts. I know about fire. It's like, there's like the Avatar. If I had to say, yes, I know the fire. I've fed fire. I've known that anger and that intense and that passion. I know that. It's just not something I call upon very often, because I like to just go with the flow of what it is. And, but I know who I am, and I'm ready for that one that is, they become balanced. And of course, their elements, and then their mind, body, heart, spirit, they become balanced in who they are in all ways. And I'm ready for that one. And, I don't mind having a little, animal companion. Izzy is kind of like a spirit animal in a way, not really. She's very bothersome, demanding. I would say if she was my spirit animal, she would be the part that, I put away, because, ferrets are a part of the weasel family and they'll devour anything. And I can conquer. Like, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm fearless. But at the same time, I'm not really a devourer. I don't bite others to get their attention or snap at them. I'll speak truth. And if someone really just kind of keeps on getting into my face, and I will fucking, I will, they don't want to. They don't want to get me riled up. Like, I've had a lot provoke me. They're trying to tease me and provoke me. And once they reach that point where I'm just fucking aggravated or, done dealing with their shit, they don't like me after that, because I put them away, and I put them in a way that, I push them over the bridge and I fucking burn that bridge, and then I flip them off as that bridge is burning, because they won't come across that, the bridge is gone to me. And I try to tell others, I was like, I'm not going to put up with someone, disturbing my peace or coming up against me or, provoking me. I just don't want that in my life, So, I say to the spirit that keeps on talking about a twin flame, I was like, I don't want a twin flame, There's got to be more than just that intense passion when you come together. Sure, that's nice, but it burns up and it goes away. So say to all those out there, you want one that's going to match you in all ways, because fire will eventually burn out. If that's all y'all have together is fire, you have to be balanced. If they're earth and you're fire, eventually they'll just, they'll try to cover you up because they can't handle your intensity. So you have to be balanced. If they're water and you're fire, they will cover you up because they can't handle that. And air fans fire. So if you have, like, fire and air, together, then that air is going to fan that fire, and it's going to be, you see those couples that are always, erupting all the time. It's because probably one is air and one is fire. And then there's our spirit animals that we have in us. One of my spirit's animals, a little squirrel. And I know I'm dragon blood. Now, to be a dragon blood, that's not easy. I mean, those of dragon blood, they should know that they're dragon blood, because this world has not been easy for them. They've faced a lot of abuse, a lot of trials. They've had a lot of just they've had a hard knock life. Okay, even when they try to stay on a certain path and have that, path like all others, they'll be pushed off their fucking path and tested and pushed and tested and pushed until they absolutely, they start breathing fire. So if you're a dragon blood, remember, eventually you'll be pushed to the point where you breathe fire. And, some that are already fire and then they start breathing fire, it's hard for them to gain self-discipline in order not to erupt all the time in violence or whatever like that. And, most of those that breathe fire always having, the spirits around them, or, the devils and demons that are always provoking them in some way, instead of trying to, calm them down. This world is full of bad relationships and codependency and stuff like that. Like, dragons, if you're a dragon blood, you got to walk independently in this world. That's why most dragons don't keep company with other dragons. It's just too much intensity. Most dragons want supremacy because they haven't learned how to connect with their heart. I connect with my heart, my mind, my body, my spirit. I grow in soul. So I'm not looking for supremacy or to dominate over others. However, to those that try to come suppress or make me submit,
they find out quickly I am dominant in my space and in my independence, and I won't put up with their fucking shit. I don't have a problem with change. It's just I'm not going to be persuaded to go other people's ways just because they're stubborn or persistent or whatever. I'm like, no, if you want to go, then go. And I say to those out there, don't be afraid to walk alone and completely who you are. You don't have to drag a God with you. You don't have to drag a Lord with you, a king, queen, or whatever. You can totally walk independently alone and be of your own accord. And that's who I am. I'm Wendy Dawn. Dragon Blood, Morning Star. I know that, in one of my lives, I've erupted. I guess I went Nova or whatever like that. Took out others with me. That would be a past self, a past life that I've known through this life is that, yes, I would have took out others because of undiscipline, and I can lead others to destruction, or I can build them up. And I do my best now to recognize who I am, so that way I will not be misleading to others. And basically I say what I say, and I say I do as I do. And instead of trying to get people to be persuaded to my point of view, be as I do, I say, well, what would you like? It's like me and my mom were discussing, I want a buzz, and she does too. And I was like, well, how would you like your buzz? Because I was talking about how decorated mine, and some of the things she wants us to have the exact same thing. And I'm like, no, I was like, and I started showing her things that she would like a horse rug. And we're not the same. If we were the same, then we would have similarities, but we're not the same. We get along, but we're not the same. And I've had others that'll do that. They'll try to follow my lead, and I'm like, no, don't eat what I eat. Don't drink what I drink. Don't take, don't do it. Don't walk as I walk. You can learn off others and experience their taste, and what they like to drink, and you can look at their perspectives and gain from their ideas and wisdom, but you don't do as they do. This world is full of those that they're copycats or mockingbirds. And of course, I don't like others mocking me. I'm like, don't repeat me. I don't need that. It's just like all those people that call themselves Christians. They're mocking who this Jesus Christ was, and they don't even know who the fuck he is. But they're mocking it. I mean, they don't know his heart, his mind, his body, his spirit. They don't know anything about him. But yet they mock his words. They just repeat them. And they don't even know if they're his words. They're just written down. They could have come from a completely different source, which they did, because it's a message of Christ, which is love. And it's the same as any other religions. All they do is mock somebody else's writings or teachings. It's not their own. I have gained a lot of clarity through growing and learning. And of course, I do carry the heart of Christ, which is love, and I have discernment. And as for teachings, I would say I draw a lot of my teachings from the scriptures of others, but I've been shown that scripture is all in so many books. They were just divided up and written over in religion and false law. So that way those that started those religion can bring condemnation and judgment against others and persecute them to gain in false profit, which is, false profit is any time in this world that you have money or material gain without earning it. you gained it through the system of the beast or by being manipulative or whatever. Those who are not a false prophet are blessed with what they have because they have earned it through their walk, through their mind. They're rich in mind, they're rich in body, they're rich in heart, they're rich in spirit, and they're rich in soul. And that's what I'm ready to receive, is what I'm rich in, and I'm tired of being held back by that. And I say to those that try to come at me as a twin flame, I'm not sharing my blessings with y'all. I don't mind helping others that are along my path. However, I'm not coming together with a twin flame because I know it'll all burn up. And if you're not careful with those that, spark your interest or are a fire to you, then they'll burn up everything you have. They'll burn up your resources. They'll take from you. I know I've had those where you just try to be giving and they're just insulting. If Izzy was a human, I wouldn't keep her around. But since she's, a little ferret, I don't, it's fine, because she's just a little thing that, in this world, she has a hard time. And she does need, someone to watch over her and to love her for who she is, and which I do. But she is a little beady-eyed bitch that bites me. Even though I love her. Anyways. That's what I say. You can take it or leave it. It's just what I put out there.